What's up? Today I'm talking about recovery for businessmen that limits injuries, reduces stress, and corrects posture while also enhancing performance, elevating confidence, and improving your energy. Now, what are these things that can do all of that and more? First, I'm going to start with the active methods and then I'll go into the passive. First up, active is going to be walking. Walking is so incredible in terms of not only helping you to lose more fat, but clearing your head, getting some blood flow through your body, enhancing your posture, etc. Now, the next thing is going to be stretching. You can do dynamic stretching where you're moving through the body or moving muscles through their full range of motion with a moderate pace. You're moving nice and slow, stretching, full range of motion, whatever it may be. And then you can have these static aspects. That's going to be where you get into a pose or get into a stretch and hold. Now you want to do each of those for anywhere from 30 to 90 seconds, ideally dynamic before a workout and static after, or you can just do a mobility or stretching session. The next thing is going to be myofascial release. Now, a lot of people talked to somebody yesterday that's doing myofascial release. First off, they weren't doing it correctly, and second off, they were not accompanying it with these other methods. Ideally, you want to warm up your muscles a little bit. So you want to build some heat in the body, as they say in yoga. So you want to do a little bit of walking or something like that, or move through a couple yoga poses, whatever you're more comfortable with and have the room to do. Then you want to do the myofascial release. That can be foam rolling, using a lacrosse ball to work through knots, or using a percussion or a massage gun, etc. Using those. But also, foam rolling isn't going back and forth over a muscle. What you want to do, even with a lacrosse ball, is you don't want to move up and down and then do this and that and just go all over the place. You want to find a tension point and hold it there. Notice the pause that I have here. Hold it there. Same with a foam roller, same with a massage gun. You don't want to be moving all over the place. Now, you do that initially to find your spot of tension, but after you find the tension, it is much better scientifically to stay and hold on that position. Now, what that does is it inhibits the muscle and breaks down that tension. Now, that alone doesn't mean it loosened everything up. What you need to do now, the next step is going to be stretching. You're going to inhibit it with a foam roll, break down that tension, and then you're going to stretch the muscle after the fact, ideally with dynamic and then your static. Because if you do dynamic first, you can lean deeper into the static as well. And then you're going to strengthen. If you notice that the muscle is weaker, you're going to want to strengthen it and improve that strength, or tighten that weaker muscle and continue stretching the stronger or tighter muscles. And then the last step is incorporating it into your workout or incorporating it into a larger movement. So if your bicep is tight, then you're going to, if your bicep is tight, you're going to want to get the lacrosse ball or whatever it is in there, break down those knots, then stretch it, and then get some blood flow through it in isolation, and then incorporate it into a larger movement like a pull-up. Next, after the active aspect, the other things that are going to help here are passive. Passive meaning your body's not moving, you're not moving through a range of motion or doing something actively to your physical body, but what you're doing are things like, 1, taking a nap, chill out, shut your eyes, close off the world, clear your head a bit. The second thing is a little bit similar, and sometimes I'll admit I meditate, or I do this thing into a nap, which I have since resolved and learned about, but meditation or visualizations, clearing your head or intentionally putting good quality thoughts into your eyes, or visualizing things that do go wrong and how you're going to respond in a positive way. And final thing that I'll add in here, because I think it is helpful with all of these things, is going to be hot or cold therapy. Your ice baths or even a cold shower can be helpful here. Your ice baths and your sauna or steam room or hot tub even. I recommend the cold therapy for the morning and the hot therapy for the night. Reason being, the cold is going to wake you up. You're going to jump up if you feel something cold, and your body is going to release a little bit of cortisol, a healthy amount, but it's also going to give you some dopamine as well. You'll be balanced out and good to go after, say, a cold and ice bath. With that said, it's going to limit your inflammation, reducing that. And then on the hot side, if you're having a great night and you're going to end it with a hot tub or a steam or a sauna session, those are going to be great because they're going to help your body. Even though you might be a little bit uncomfortable, what's going to happen is you're going to release that stress, release that tension that you have throughout the day, and get you ready for bed and improve your sleep. Those are the 6 things: walking, stretching, myofascial release on the active side, and then passive is taking a nap, meditate, or visualize, or even breath work, right? This can all be incorporated together. And then that hot and cold therapy, whether it's an ice bath or a sauna, it's going to be beneficial to you. Now, I would use these if I was an athlete. I would use these if I'm a businessman. Anything like that is going to be helpful, or these are going to be helpful for your everyday individual. If you have questions on how to implement these, which ones are best, it's not an every size fits all kind of things. You're going to want these things to be tailored to you, your goals, what your limitations are currently, where you're trying to go, and what's not only what do you struggle with long term, but what are the acute injuries that come up? What are the mental things and blockages that you have that you need to deal with and work through, etc.? What do you have access to, right? Not everybody has a sauna and an ice bath, but you might have. But that's why I like things taking a nap or meditation, because those are accessible and reasonable and free. Those are my key things. The only thing I'll add is if you can do these out in the sunlight, that's going to be ideal, especially you're walking, stretching, etc. For the nap, I would recommend covering your eyes with a sleep mask, especially if it's midday, and probably plug in or Bluetooth headphones are going to be great for those in the meditation and that sort of thing. So that's it for this video. Tune in for another one soon. If you're on YouTube, make sure you subscribe, like, and share this with a friend. If you're on Instagram, make sure you follow and share with a friend as well. Talk to you guys soon.